So hello and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is a gift from my daughter. It's the You Are Murmurizing coffee mug. I think it's appropriate for what we're going to do today. It's also very large, which I kind of decided I needed because I'm apparently coming down with something. So if my voice sounds a bit rough, I'm apparently coming down with something. And because of that, I can talk. Because of that, I ended up mixing Sips By's September's Prevention Wellness Teas, the Indian Immunity Tea, with a previous Sips By tea, the Harney and Sons Organic Green with citrus and ginkgo. I figure an immunity tea and citrus are good things for me to be drinking when I'm not feeling well. So let's give this a taste and see how they come out together. I also reduced my amount of sugar and milk. I like sugar and milk in my tea, but being sick, I figured I'd bring it down. You mostly get the peppermint. You mostly get the peppermint. There might be touches of citrus in there. I'm not quite getting them. We will see if they show up further later in the video. At the end, when we're done. Dealing with hair today. I'm already having a day, guys. So, a couple of notes. Well, one note in particular. Apparently today is yard work day for the apartment complex. So, we are going to be having quite a bit of grumbling in the background as they do their yard work. So hopefully that will not be too much of a distraction. I didn't realize it. I'm not normally up at god-awful hour in the morning. And but I wanted to go ahead and get the filming done, and then I'm going to go back to bed. Got to try to kick this thing, you know? So that's the big note right there. Secondly, I may sound weird or be coughing, and don't worry, I'm fine. I'm just, like I said, just coming down with something. And I will go back to bed. Promise. Scout's honor. Yes, I used to be a Girl Scout. Long time ago. Anyway, hopefully the lighting is okay, considering the time of day is different and all that other stuff. But let's go ahead and get started. So today, I had done a look recently that a lot of ladies, when I posted it on my Facebook, really, really enjoyed. So we are going to do a Bright Ladies on my version of a kind of mermaid look. The two palettes I will be using are the Zulu by Juvia's Place and the Violet Voss, the Rainbow palette. I love both of these palettes. I particularly love the Violet Voss one, but that should be no surprise since I love Violet Voss. If you do not have these palettes, you don't have to get them. You can probably find similar colors in ColourPop or other similarly inexpensive shadows. This is going to be kind of a mermaid look, and I'm also going to, by request, somebody mentioned this in my what kind of ideas on the live do you have. Somebody mentioned possibly doing the way I do my eyeliner, and so I'm going to go ahead and do that too today, and that's also going to use these, believe it or not. So let's go ahead and get started with that. I've already primed my face like I always do, and I've already put on my NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer in Alabaster, my RCMA No Color Powder to set it, and my Kryolan Eyeshadow Primer over that. As I've mentioned before, these help with certain issues with my eyes. And also, like in previous Bright Ladies videos, I will do one eye and then I'll fast forward through the next one. So I'm going to start with my Alamar Floofy brush, and I'm going to go into my Violet Voss, and I'm going to grab some of this pearl and I'm going to mix it with some of this peach. And this is going to go under my brow. And anybody who's new here, I'll do top down, lighter to darker, always. So this is more of a mermaid look kind of look. I'm going to need more of that pearl in there. I'm getting ready to do another filming. I figured since I'm doing another filming, I might as well go ahead and show this look off. So I have used this look in a previous filming. So going under the brow, using all of my real estate because I've got hooded eyes and kind of need it. Up a little higher. Just want to get all of that under the brow. You know, your Dommy here, she's not a morning person. But I figured since I was awake, I went to bed late last night. And so since I'm awake, I figured I'd get this done and then I could just go back to bed and go back to sleep. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of pausing as they do their work. We'll see. Anyway, so what we're going to do, I've done the under here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm splitting my lid into 4. Sounds complicated, and it is a bit more than what I usually do, but it works very well for this look. So just follow along. It sounds complicated, but I bet you can do it. Just watch. It's not that hard. It sounds complicated. It's a lot easier than it sounds. Anyway, going to take this green right here in the middle out of the Zulu palette. It's a very lime yellowy green. And I'm going to put that on the inner corner of my lid using my Alamar detail brush. Going about a third of the way in. And we may need to touch this up a little bit later. I had to touch it up when I did it the first time. But we'll see. So about a quarter to a third of the way in on that. Using the same brush, which I have cleaned off, I'm going to get into my Violet Voss. And I'm going to use I can't remember which one I used last time. I guess we'll go with the name. I'm going to use the Seafoam, and that's going to go next to this bright green. The lime green. It's going to go right in the same place. Just along here. Blending it into that a little bit. And going from that to about the halfway mark on the lid, give or take. So you end up with a little bit of the lime and just a little bit of the Seafoam. Cleaning up my brush again and using the same brush to grab some of this royal. This is the one color I've had the most trouble with in this palette, sadly. And it's going here. As you can see, I'm having a little trouble getting that color to pick up. It's there, but that's fine. And you want to leave some of your corner there showing for the next color. This one seems to have the least amount of shine. most difficulty building up. I'm having to build it up quite a bit. But it really literally is the only one in the palette that I have issues with. Looking a little like a striped fish. Just a little. It's all going to get blended. It's going to be fine. If you're panicking over this, well, it's going to be fine. Okay, cleaning up that same brush. It's one of the few times I've used the same brush. But since we're trying to do some kind of detailed work, it's kind of good to use a good flat detail brush for this. And I figure using the same brush, as long as I clean it in between, isn't a big deal. All right, so we're going back to the Zulu palette. And we're getting this beautiful purple, and we're putting that in on the outer corner. This purple is the reason I actually bought this palette. It's gorgeous. But it's a little bit more pinky purple on the eye than it is in the pan. It was kind of unexpected and not nearly as deep, which is fine. Just something I wasn't expecting. It's a beautiful color. I really, really, really like it. I really like it. There we go. Okay, gonna clean this up, and then we're gonna blend these a little bit. And there is one more palette I do need to use. But let's start with blending. Find my little blender. Okay, going to blend inside out and not too much. We just want the colors to meld and not have such solid lines. So we're just going to go like this, kind of mix them a bit. Now they're not so, I mean, you can still see the different colors, but it's not, the lines aren't so clear. There we go, just like that. Clean this off, I might need it again later. Might. Alrighty. So the other palette I need to use is, again, if you don't have this palette, I'm sure you can find another color. I actually considered using a blend of this brown and this pink from the Zulu palette to get what I'm about to do. But the Zulu was very strongly colored. And having not done this look with that palette before, I didn't want to risk messing it up today. So I'm using my Tarte Buried Treasure palette, and I'm going to be using the color Naughty, which is here in the corner. And that's going to go in my crease to my outer corner with a soft round brush. I'm going to use this elf brush. It's roundish, and we're just going to move inwards. The way we do, and then go out to the corner of our brow the way I do. This helps also bring in the colors that we put on the top. Now you all know I don't support Tarte anymore right now. I'm watching them. I'm watching them. But we are using only the one color. This is discontinued. And I am trying to pan these suckers. These tart suckers I already have. Trying to get rid of them. Cleaning up my brush a little bit. And then I'm going to go back into my Violet Voss palette and grab some more of this blue and just kind of put it in the crease a bit to deepen that up just a little bit. So right in here, just a little bit. Again, we're just kind of deepening things up here just a little. Adding some definition there. Bringing those colors in. As you can see, because the blue does not have an insane amount of pigment, it is kind of mixing with that burgundy a little bit. And it's not coming in blue, but it's doing its job. Didn't want much, just wanted to add a little depth, that's all. And then we're going to grab a detail brush again. And it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to use this Luxie small shader for my details. And I'm going to go ahead and get back in that blue a little bit. Just get right in the corner and do my little outer thing. And get under the eye of it. Not very far, because we are actually going to be bringing some greens in. So just hold on. What you doing, Gambit? Be in trouble? I swear the cats do this stuff on purpose. She's filming. I'm going to go ahead and make noise now. I'm going to go ahead and get into things now. Okay, so cleaning up my shader. All right. We are going to grab the seafoam again, and the seafoam is going to go on the outer half to 2/3 of the lower lash line. And then clean that up a bit. We're going to grab this Fiji and put that on the inner part of that lower lash line. And there, the eyes are done. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and do my concealing, color correcting, and putting my foundation on. And then I will be right back and I will show you how I do my eyelining with my setting spray method. And from there, I'll get the finished look and then we'll go from there. We are now going to go ahead and do the eyelining. So, couple of things. You need a thin brush for this, and one thing that I have noticed, I like this Aesthetica brush, this E14. What I noticed when I got a second one of these, and the second one was fatter than this one. You want a really, really thin line. So I have noticed that a lot of the brow and eyeliner brushes have different thicknesses. So you're going to want to look for something that's really, really thin if you're going to do it this way. Otherwise, you get a really smoogy, fat line when you do it. I also use an e.l.f. concealer brush for my details to fill in the wing itself. And last time I did this with a blue eyeliner. I'm actually going to use black today because the blue I used wasn't very strong. And the black in here is actually very pretty. So, going to use a setting spray. I'm using the NYX Professional Makeup Matte Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. This is about $10 for this bottle. I'm going to put down 2 sprays on a, well, I'll put a third one in there. 2.5. but on a flat surface. This is a little mirror that I got out of a palette somewhere. I think it was the Minnie Mouse one. I can't remember. And I'm going to, first of all, you dip the end into your setting spray. And then I'm using this color Eclipse, which is a kind of a glittery black. The only problem I have with Violet Voss is they have to have a black and everything. Every single one of my palettes of theirs has a black. Even the one where it should have been a dark purple has a black. But anyway, then you go along your edge and pick up your color. And I do it on the very, very edge. If you take a look, you can see almost where it was used there, because it looks kind of flatter than the rest of it. That way you can make sure to use the rest of that color without having to worry about, since you got this wet, making any difference in the way the rest of it works. And I go about 2/3 in on the under eye and go over. It's pretty standard for most of it. It's just I use the setting spray so that I can do colors. And I very carefully just sort of tap and work my way around the bottom of the eye, turning the brush as I need to get into that inner corner. And re-dipping when I need to. Now, I used to do this with water, but water doesn't hold the color very well. Whereas setting spray does give it a bit of more hold. I'm going to go tweak it up just a little bit on this inside, so it's more of a curve and less of a straight line. And I would normally go straight to the other eye, but I'm going to finish off this eye and then do the other eye. So it's pretty standard for the top too. Dip into the spray. Don't overdo it. If you put too much setting spray on your brush, your color will feather. So you want to make sure to be very careful about that. Again, going along your edge, along your lash line. Dipping in as much as you need to and when you need to. You'll notice that I'm kind of going light. It's because if I don't, I blink and I end up messing up the whole eye. Now, obviously, this would be easier with, say, a liquid eyeliner. Which for a matte black works, but if you want a shiny black or if you want a color, sometimes it's hard to find the colors you want, and that's one of the reasons why I started doing it this way. Alrighty. And that inner corner is my nemesis, I'm telling you guys. Okay, so for the wing. One of the reasons I like this Aesthetica brush is because it is so wide, long. It's very thin, but it's long. And that makes it easier for me to get a good line from the outer corner of my upper lid towards my eyebrow. So going from here, I can just pat and I start to get that line, and then I can go straight up towards my brow. Although today, apparently, we are going to be fussy. But this is just giving me the line, because I can fix the fussiness with my detail brush in just a minute. And then once I have my bottom line, I go about Almost halfway on the upper lid, and I try to bring all of that back. Again, just drawing a line to meet the corner that I've already created. I hope you guys can see this. I'll try and... Okay, so now I've got my lines and my corners. I'm going to clean this off, even though I'm going to use it again in a minute on the other side. And this is where I get my detail brush. Or the little elf concealer brush. These are $1 at Walmart, so they're not, they may have gone up, but they were $1 at Walmart when I bought them. Dip that in your setting spray, grab some of your color, and you can use this, one, to fix any errors in your lines, and two, to fill in. It's just easier to fill in with a slightly different shaped brush. I have found that if I use that Aesthetica to fill in, I end up messing up my wing even more. This is not going to be the best wing, but there we go. My lines are a little messy. Alrighty, so that's how I did my wing. I'm going to go ahead and do my other side in silence. We'll see if we can get through this. And now I'm going to go and finish my look, and I will be right back, and we will talk a little bit more. See you in 2 shakes. So there we go. There's our finished look, right down to the eyes. If you find this a little intimidating, don't worry about it. Honestly, what I have found with makeup, with wings, with everything, it just takes practice. So yeah, the first time you try something like this, it may end up looking a bit out of whack, but keep trying. Don't get discouraged. It doesn't matter your age. You can learn to do beautiful, colorful makeup at any age. I've only been doing colorful stuff for the last year, maybe a little longer. Well, most of the stuff that I'm seeing coming up in my Facebook memories shows me wearing a lot of neutrals last summer. So yeah, colors have been pretty much a recent thing for me. And considering I'm turning 55, I've probably, by the time this goes up, I will have turned 55. Yeah, you can learn at any age. You can wear colors at any age. Don't let them intimidate you. You can wear whatever you want, you know, and it just takes practice to make them really work for you. That's all. So don't let it scare you enough that you don't even practice. Practice. And the best time to practice is when you're not going anywhere. So anyway, I hope you like what you've seen. And if you're not subscribed, I hope you'll subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload. If you're already one of my notification squad members, members, we don't have a membership here. We're all one big happy family. You may want to check your notification bell, however, because I'm still having issues with YouTube deciding that, okay, you've been notified, you don't need to be notified anymore. So check your bell. If you don't subscribe, I will be very sad. We would miss you, but I will hope that you do come back, and that we'll see you again soon. And when you do, I do hope you bring your cup of tea. Just a touch of the lemon, the citrus, I should say. I would say it's lemon, but it's very, very, very mild. But the peppermint has calmed down a little bit too. It's cooling off, so I think that's part of the reason why it's a little less strong. I think the combination works, and hopefully it'll help me get better for the rest of this week, because I can't stand being sick. I hate being sick. Have to be doing something all the time, and resting is usually not on the menu. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day. Bye.